Tax day is coming.
Oh, no.
But if you sign up for Robinhood Gold's IRA with a 3% match, you can get up to $195 for the 2023 tax year.
Oh, yeah.
Sign up at Robinhood.com/boost by tax day to get the biggest contribution match on the market. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Robinhood Financial, LLC, member SIPC.
All right, it's $5.3 million. You can own it. And think about it, maybe you'll be inspired to create the next new Facebook. It's actually the house that Mark Zuckerberg rented when he was building Facebook, which is now called Meta. And as the story goes, he was looking at the house with his roommates. And he just stood outside. The roommates went in and they came out. They said, yeah, Mark, this is great. Again, he did not even go in the house. And then he wrote the owner a check for $10,000. The owner says, it seemed like he was kind of in a hurry. Well, as it turns out, he was in a hurry because they were being thrown out of their previous Palo Alto house because they tied a zip line around a chimney and then let it down to the pool. And so they needed to move that day. Okay. But I thought about it. It would be cool meeting Mark Zuckerberg, wouldn't it? I mean, he knows so much about you. He knows your interests, how many friends you have, your political leanings. I mean, there'd be no that awkward, getting to know you phase, right? He'd be like, hey, hi, Kim. Hi, Allie. Hi, Matt. That's right. This is Tech Refresh. It's your weekly fun show about all things digital, and it's delivered every Friday with Kim Commando today. And joining us, of course, I'm Kim Commando. And then, of course, we have our amazing content queen and crypto gal, Allie Seligman. What pearls of wisdom will you be sharing with us today, Al?
I'm going to tell you how little money scammers are buying and selling all your personal info for online, which is always a bummer, and a little deep dive into why everyone is talking about crypto stablecoins.
Ooh, stablecoins. And then, of course, we have our magnificent millennial Matthew. And what are you going to share with us today, Matt?
We are going to talk about the discontinuation of one of the most popular pieces of tech of all time, as well as a fun game you can play if you get bored on your phone, and how some phone scammers got their comeuppance.
And because of popular demand, I had to turn over the joke baton. And yes, at the end, Matt, it's your turn. Now, Is this a joke that is, will people truly laugh at this joke?
It'll change your life. You will laugh. You will cry. You'll never be the same again.
And then, of course, there's trivia at the end. And it's my turn to do trivia this week. And I will tell you, it's especially difficult. It's going to be a hard one to guess right. And, of course, we're going to start with the news, important tech developments to keep you in the know. And just a quick reminder, the Tech Refresh is brought to you by The Current. That's right. It's delivered twice a week. No ads. It's free. You're going to love it. And you can sign up and see a sample right now over at getthecurrent.com. That's getthecurrent.com. All right. I've been dipping my toe into cryptocurrency. And it seems like my timing is just really, really bad because, most of the time, the best investment advice is to remain calm. Do not panic. If you're heavily invested in cryptocurrency, now is not one of those times. There's a British weekly called The Spectator, and it's the oldest magazine in the world, but it's just one of the many that are sounding the crypto alarms. Ross Clark wrote an article that he called Crypto is Dead. CNBC said the crypto experiment is unraveling. I think it was Warren Buffett that just called cryptocurrency rat poison. Okay. So this next story caught my attention because as I'm buying and selling crypto, I signed up for a Coinbase account, right? And I thought that this was going to be really fabulous. And you have to think of Coinbase like a bank. It's going to hold all the crypto for you. But what happens if the bank goes belly up? Well, it's going to take all your crypto with you because it's not like the FDIC is there to say, okay, we insured your account for $250,000. So hidden away in Coinbase's very disappointing first quarter earnings report, they had a first quarter loss of, I just can't imagine this, $430 million.
Oof.
Okay. Whoa. In the first quarter of this year, monthly users dropped 20%.
Wow.
So in their earnings report, they said something like this. In the event that if Coinbase ever declared bankruptcy, the crypto assets we hold in custody on behalf of our customers could be subject to bankruptcy proceedings. Oh. Okay. And so They say that it's generally unsecured creditor, meaning that you have no right to claim any property. Your funds would be inaccessible. So, what did I do next? And what I'm recommending to all of you, self-custody, take your money out of Coinbase and any really exchange out there. And you want to use something called MetaMask, and we've got some details over at commando.com. But if you really want to double your money instantly without investing in cryptocurrency, there's really only one thing you can do. Okay. You put a cash bundle in front of the mirror. Okay. And that's it. Okay. So, Matt, moving from crypto to a monumental event in technology and Apple, right?
Yes, so we're going to go back in time a little bit. Everybody remembers where they were on September 11th, 2001. Kim, do you remember what you were doing, where you were?
Yeah. I was at home and I was actually laying down with Ian. There's no getting him back to sleep. He's just a baby. And then Barry came in and goes, "You have to see what's on TV." And I got up and I went into the family room and I actually looked at him and said, "Why are you showing me this horror movie at 6:30 in the morning?" Okay.
Oh my gosh.
And he's like, "No, this is not a horror movie." And you remember too, Al, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think I'd woken up for school and my dad had the TV on. We didn't go to school that day. It was very bizarre.
Yeah, my parents were teachers, so I remember getting up extra early and I'm like laying on the floor, not ready to get up, like watching the news on my parents' TV and watching it as it happened. And then I went to a before school program, and all these like little kids are just gathered around this TV. They rolled into the cafeteria to watch it.
It was horrible.
Yeah. Well, can you imagine being Apple and just a month later, in October of 2001, they came out with one of the biggest technologies of all time that changed the way that we listen to music, and that would be the iPod. So remember when they got their first iPod, they got their first MP3 player, and you didn't have to put the tapes in the things or the
I
CDs
was
in
so
your...
excited. I loved it. I was like, "This is amazing."
Yeah. Well, after 21 years, Apple has finally announced they will be discontinuing the iPod forever. So it is going away. They said that there are still supplies in stores, but they are not making any more. So if you happen to have an iPod in your closet, in a box, an old iPod somewhere, keep it. It'll be worth a lot of money one day.
I saw one for sale on eBay for like $6,500.
Whoa.
Yeah, just the iPod this morning. I was just curious, how much would an iPod go for? And it had like 20 people watching it. It was crazy.
I think I still have an old pink iPod, like Nano, like the small
tiny,
pink tiny ones. I think I still have one in a drawer somewhere. We'll see. Maybe I can make some money.
Yeah,
off
I
of
feel
it.
like I can still feel that little wheel clicking as
Yes.
you went through your music.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if your iPod is broken, there's a really good way that you can fix it, is that you get a podcast. Oh, okay, Allie, tell us what's going on with malware.
Oh, man. Okay. Picture a hacker. What do you see?
It's that guy, and it's a guy or a gal. We're not really sure.
In a black hoodie in a
the hoodie.
basement. There
Yes.
you go, yeah.
And it's all dark around them, and
Yes.
they have like a keyboard. That's all you see.
Yeah. They only operate in shadows, always a hoodie. Maybe you think of some rogue programmer who's like trying to get somebody, or I think of like teenagers who are way too smart for their own good, just getting up to mischief.
Yeah.
Well, these days, though, anyone can be a hacker. If you have, I kid you not, $7 to spend. Seriously.
$7?
Yes.
That's like a Starbucks, like latte, mate, venti, chai, whatever you're going to get.
Oat milk.
Well, it's a new remote access Trojan, which is malware that can take over your machine. It is selling for just a few bucks on Russian dark web forums. It's called Dark Crystal, and a cybersecurity company called BlackBerry says it's one of the most affordable strains of malware it has ever seen.
Affordable,
Starting
that's
at
nice.
just, yeah, right?
Dark Crystal sounds like a David Bowie movie, you know?
It's both. Starts at just 500 rubles, around $7. And just because it's cheap doesn't mean it doesn't do a lot. It's effective. It can steal usernames and passwords. It can track your browser history. It can take screenshots. So lovely, all for $7. It is not the only bargain out there. Every year, this company called Privacy Affairs, they put out this annual list of how much all our info costs on the dark web. It's always really depressing because we see how little our personal info, our financial accounts are worth. Stolen credit cards and financial accounts, those are more affordable than ever this year, a lot cheaper than 2021. Remember long ago when you worried about giving someone your credit card? They could copy it. They could
Right.
swipe it. There's
Yes.
a skimmer. What do we do? Well, now we have chips and 2FA and things seem safer, yet you can buy a cloned American Express card with the PIN for $25.
No way.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, the bargain's don't in there. 50 hacked PayPal account logins, $150. You'd think in those
Wow.
50, maybe you'd get lucky once, right?
Yeah, right? Probably.
And I thought this was so interesting. In addition to the dark web price list this year, hacked accounts for services and subscriptions. So instead of using your, ex's aunt's Netflix account, you can get credentials for your subscription for just $4. It's illegal, but good reminder for us all, go and check your streaming services. I had my Hulu account, someone weird in there once. So it's usually in the settings. Just double check if there are any, devices that you don't recognize. Change your password, kick everybody out, you'll be fine. One more security note that I want to share. The latest Windows update is here, Patch Tuesday. This one, 75 flaws and 3 0 days, which is a big deal. So go update.
Really? 3 0 days?
3, yeah.
Okay, well, we have to explain what 0 days are for everybody. That means like they don't even have time to fix it, okay?
Right.
Yes.
It's just right there.
Yes, being actively exploited. So these are things, and usually they're pretty high level where somebody can take over your machine, that kind of stuff. So we've got all the details on that on commando.com. Go update your computer.
And reminds me of an email that I got. Actually, let me read you this email. It's really funny. Hey, Kim, love the show. Love your jokes. Oh, thank you, Bob. Okay. My wife texted me on a cold winter morning, and she said, Windows frozen, won't open. Well, I was at work, and I didn't know what to tell her. So I said, hey, go get some lukewarm water and then pour over it, and then gently just tap the edges with a hammer. And he said about 15 minutes later, she texted back, wow, the computer's really messed up now.
That's incredible.
Oh, hey, speaking of some more insider secrets and tips, those are coming up. And don't forget, we have the trivia coming up, and Matt's going to have an incredible joke. And then Allie, our crypto gal's going to be telling us about stable coins. Yes, it's all jam-packed here in Tech Refresh, so stay right where you are.
Let me tell you about a revolutionary new mobile voicemail app. If you've got a business, your voicemail is probably filled with messages from customers. Often the messages don't contain all the details you need. But what if you were able to get visual information from your callers? That's something you can't do with a traditional audio voicemail box, but you can with Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail. With Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail, callers receive a link to download the mobile app. There they can view important details about your business, watch videos about what you have to offer, and then leave you a video message. Actors and musicians can showcase what they do, and callers to medical practices or repair shops can report their issues visually. There are so many things that video voicemail can do for a business that makes audio voicemail a thing of the past. Discover what video voicemail can do for your business. Visit getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com.
Yes, it's Tech Refresh, your weekly fun podcast about all things digital that you can get at Tech Refresh, or if you are subscribed to Kim Commando today, you get it every Friday. And if you are not already subscribed to the Commando Show newsletters, you are totally missing out. Okay, you want to go to commando.com/subscribe. And we were going over the numbers, and I'll tell you, the open rates on our newsletters are just phenomenal. I mean, over 50%, which the industry standard, what is it, Al? The
Oh
open
gosh,
rate?
for these kind of newsletters, I would say under 10.
Yes. And so we send out great stuff that you're going to read time and time again. You're going to refer back to it. And so to get our newsletters, you go to commando.com/subscribe. And I really think that when you're a new subscriber, you want to get the breaking news, the tips, and of course you want to get the current. So that's commando.com/subscribe. All right. How about a great photo tip? Have you ever tried to get a picture of the kids playing, or maybe waves crashing, or your parents dancing? And you know how tough it is to capture movement with your smartphone's camera? Well, here's an insider trick. You're going to be so smart using this, because this is what the pros do. Your smartphone camera has an option to take photos in burst mode. And what this does, it lets your phone's camera take pictures faster than you can do it. Right? It's just going to do it for you. So instead of just getting one photo, you get 2 or 3 photos for every single second that you hold down the shutter button. Then afterwards, you just select your favorites to keep. And that's the important tip in here, too, a tip and a tip. Just don't let all the burst photos hang out there, all right? So if you're using an iPhone 10 or earlier, you want to hold the camera shutter button. For newer iPhones, just swipe the shutter button to the left. And either way, lift your finger to stop taking photos in burst mode. Then to see your picture, just go into Apple Photos and then Media Types. Now, if you're on Android, we love you too. Just hold down your camera shutter button to enable burst mode, which reminds me of something else. What is the difference between a digital camera and a sock? A digital camera and a sock. This is going to blow you away. The camera takes photos and the socks take 5 toes.
Oh, man.
Okay, Matt, you were telling us about this incredible game online, and I tried to play it, and I guess I'm just not very good at it. Let me just tell you.
Hey, it's fair. So it's called thumbnailgame.com. If you think you know trends and if you spend a lot of time on YouTube, then you might be good at this, but you'll have to see. So basically what the game is you go onto this page. It's a really simple website, and it gives you 2 photos in the title. It's just the thumbnail and the title of the video on YouTube. You then have to choose which one you think has more views, and if you get it right, you get a point. So it's fun to play and compete with your friends. If you're in between, working on a spreadsheet or whatever while you're at work, type it in, see how far you can get. Who knows? I got to 12 this morning.
In a row?
In a row.
Wow.
I think the trick is, and I'm going to give you guys a little bit hint, if it's music, 90% of the time, it's going to be the higher views because a lot of people use YouTube just to play the free songs or whatever.
I
they're
got one that
looking
was a
for.
Beyonce video and was like, okay, I know that wins.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So you had a streak of 12 this morning, Matt?
I had a 12 streak this morning.
Well, was that before work? I'm just wondering.
It was while I was laying in bed this morning.
Oh,
You
okay.
can play on your phone.
All right, perfect. All right, so Allie, what do you got for us?
I have a 2-for-1 today. I have some Mac tips and Windows tips. So we're going to start with Mac. I'm not sure people realize how powerful the preview app is. That's the thing that opens up when you just click on a photo and open it on your computer. But it's not just to view photos. You can sign documents there, which is awesome. I use that all the time. You can edit photos right in preview. But maybe my favorite feature is the ability to select text from a photo. So say you took a picture of a note and you jotted down somebody's email address on it. Well, you can hover your cursor over it in preview and you can select that text. And then you can right click and you can send an email. You can copy it. You can add it to your contacts.
That's pretty cool.
It's so cool. You can do the same with addresses. So say you took a picture of a sign, you can open up a map of the address with a phone number. You can call the number, an audio call from your computer.
You know what?
That's pretty cool.
This is one of these things that you're like, when you're like, oh, well, I don't really get it. Okay, but then when you start using it, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, this is really smart engineering. Thank you.
It's very smart. It's very smart. And I tested it actually. I found some different, samples of handwriting online to see, okay, is it just perfectly printed text or can it take handwriting? And it really can. So as long as your handwriting isn't total chicken scratch, I think you'll be fine. All right. And now for Windows people, this is another really handy one. Okay. We all know copy and paste, right? Control C, Control V. We probably use them all the time. But try hitting the Windows key plus V. This opens up something called the Cloud Clipboard menu. And this shows you not just the last thing you copied, but the last 25 things you copied, text and photos. So say you took a screenshot, it'll be there. So the last 25 things. Yeah, it's really cool. You can pin things if you need to access them all the time. The menu also has emojis, GIFs, so you can search for all that stuff there. Again, to access it, just hit the Windows key plus V. And if it's not working for you, which this happened to us, Matt was testing, it didn't work. You might have your clipboard history turned off. So for that, you're going to go to your settings, go to System, and then Clipboard. You can turn it on there.
Ooh, that's nice. I got a call on the show last weekend from a guy who wanted to dictate to his computer. So he wanted to know, the best dictation software.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you've come to the right place because it's built into Windows.
Yeah. It actually works really well. And because we love you for listening, we put together some guides for Mac and Windows. We've got 10 really smart tips, things that you're going to use all the time like this, where it's like, wow, I didn't know my computer could do this. So go to the website, go to commando.com/free guide, and you can download a copy.
How nice of us.
How nice.
Yes, commando.com/free guides, commando.com/free guide. And just one more domain, because in case you missed the game that Matt was talking about, it's what? Thumbnailgame.com, Matt?
Thumbnailgame.com.
Awesome. All right, you want to stay right where you are because coming up we have some crypto news with Allie. And Matt's going to be back talking to us about what the web is talking about. And then later on, we have some trivia, and then we have a great joke at the end. So this is Tech Refresh. Stay right where you are.
Let me tell you about a revolutionary new mobile voicemail app. If you've got a business, your voicemail is probably filled with messages from customers. Often the messages don't contain all the details you need. But what if you were able to get visual information from your callers? That's something you can't do with a traditional audio voicemail box, but you can with Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail. With Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail, callers receive a link to download the mobile app. There they can view important details about your business, watch videos about what you have to offer, and then leave you a video message. Actors and musicians can showcase what they do, and callers to medical practices or repair shops can report their issues visually. There are so many things that video voicemail can do for a business that makes audio voicemail a thing of the past. Discover what video voicemail can do for your business. Visit getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com.
Hey, welcome back. And just a quick reminder is that if you haven't already, make sure that you sign up for The Current. Head over to getthecurrent.com. Okay, Al, you're taking off your content queen crown, and you are now the crypto gal. Yes.
I am. My crypto gal sunglasses, so I look cool. Kim, you read some of those headlines about what's going on in the crypto world this week. Here were some of my favorites. Cryptocurrencies are collapsing. 40% of Bitcoin investors are now underwater. The crypto plunge continues. So yeah, things are a mess in crypto right now. You can blame the Fed. The Federal Reserve raised interest rates, and the stock market took a nosedive, and so did crypto. Even commodities, which are usually safe, went down. Oil was down 7% on Monday, and that's not a good sign. It's like recession-level stuff. But back to crypto. Okay, another word all over the headlines is stablecoin. So let's do a little deep dive. What is that? Why is everyone talking about it? Stablecoins are a type of cryptocurrency that aim to be exactly worth $1. They aren't like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, all the rest, where we expect the price to go up and down. And if stablecoins do hold their peg, as it's called, to the dollar, there are good reasons to hold them. Most people take profits from their investments in stablecoins because essentially they're the cash of crypto. One stablecoin, $1. And then there's the interest, which is a real draw. So you can earn between 5 and 20% interest.
Oh, you're kidding.
On stablecoins.
Wow.
I'm not. I'm pretty sure.
Up to 20%?
Up to 20%, yes.
No
I'm
wonder
pretty
why
sure
people
my bank's high yield savings is what, like 0.5%?
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
A good one.
But what happens if a stablecoin slips below $1, where it's supposed to be? Well, that is exactly what happened to a coin called UST. It was, note I said was, it was the third largest stablecoin with about $18 billion
Wow.
in market cap before it lost its peg to the dollar. UST is what's called an algorithmic stablecoin. Stay with me, we're going to put on our drawer cats. I'm not going to go into all the details because it's really complex, but the Cliff's Notes version is essentially this really complex code works to keep it there at the dollar. But apparently that code wasn't quite up to the task because UST dropped down to 29 cents this week. So imagine.
Okay, so it's wait. So it was kind of like $1.
Yeah, it was valued at $1.
Okay, and now it's 29 cents?
That was its low. It's bounced up a little, but it's not anywhere close back up to its dollar peg. Imagine you had $100 and then poof, it's $29. So that's essentially what happened. So does this mean that all stable coins are doomed? I don't think so. It is a bad sign for these algorithmic stable coins because so much could happen there. But there's another type too called collateralized stablecoins. And these are different because they actually have real assets backing them up one-to-one. So when you get one USDC, which is another stablecoin, you know somewhere there's an actual dollar backing it, not just an algorithm trying to make it all work. So not financial advice, but when it comes to stablecoins, those asset-backed options, USDC and Tether, those are the biggest ones, maybe you've heard of them, they are much less likely to lose their peg than these algorithmic-based stablecoins. Of course, this is crypto. Nothing is totally safe.
Yeah,
it's
right.
still the Wild West out there. I know that all too well. So please, let's take a small moment of silence for all the money I lost this week. It is rough out there.
Yeah.
It is. And, and that's just it. I mean, you can make a lot of money, but you can lose a lot of money. Sometimes it's kind of like going to Vegas, right?
It really
Right.
is. One of the top coins was worth at its peak not too long ago, $99. Today, $2.46.
And
I
Allie's,
may or may not have
I was gonna
some
say-
much.
I'm going to say, Allie, what are you doing this weekend? I'm waiting tables. Okay? Until my crypto goes back up.
I'm
That's
having a garage sale.
Yes, exactly. Hey, that was really interesting, Allie. Thank you. So, Matt, what's hot on the internet now?
We're going to talk about a viral video that's gone viral on YouTube. It's by a YouTuber named Mark Rober. But in 2021, Americans lost almost $30 billion to phone scammers. Can you believe that? $30 billion to phone scammers. Well, Mark Rober, this YouTuber, took it upon himself to get back at these phone scammers. So he targeted them with prankers in India. So he targeted 5 different call centers that are scam call centers in India. And he got people that would get hired there, like they were like spies to get on the inside. And they'd bring in stuff like fake water bottles. But these water bottles were filled with either like a stink spray that would make the whole office
gosh.
smell
Oh,
like
gosh.
farts. Or they would have it release roaches around the office
Oh,
and stuff like
God,
that.
that's nasty.
Why?
Nothing-
Just to mess with them?
Just to mess with them and for them to know that they were seen for what they
Okay,
are, because
all
they're
right.
like shells.
Okay,
right?
I have a question. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if you had the choice between farts or roaches,
Parts. I hate roaches.
I don't like bad smells. I think I'd go with the roaches.
are you okay? I'm going with. I think I'd rather have the farts.
Yeah,
than
me too.
roaches. Okay, all right. That said, I'm sorry. Total digress.
So,
No, it's-
so these places, it's illegal, right? What
Right.
they're doing.
It is illegal. So even though that they're in India, it is still illegal. So even the normal Indian citizen hates these people. Hates
Okay,
what,
and
what
so they're
doing.
scamming the people here in the United States.
Yes, they're scamming people in the
And
United States.
primarily the older folks, right?
Correct. They target elderly. In fact, they have the call center times, like the times that these call centers are open, are specifically set up to target people that are home during the workday in America.
Oh.
So older people. And some of these places, one of these places was making $60,000 a day from scamming people, older people, and
Oh my
that's
gosh.
$18 million a year. Just one of these locations. So he managed, because they got freaked out and realized someone was onto him, they all shut down for a short period of time. 4 of them are back up and running, but one of them is he couldn't talk about in the video too much because they're in legal, getting that one legally shut down. But it's amazing. You should go check it out.
Wow. He
That
has
is
such great
something.
videos.
Yeah, he really does. And, if you ever get a call from an Egyptian telemarketer, you should just definitely hang up because they always are with pyramid schemes.
You knew where that one was
You
going.
knew that one was coming.
Yeah.
All right. You want to make sure that you have your thinking cap on because coming right up here on Tech Refresh Next is our trivia. Are you guys feeling smart today? Are you?
I'm so ready.
I'm ready.
Okay.
My brain
We're going to
stretches.
get you, Kim.
All right. Stay right where you are.
Let me tell you about a revolutionary new mobile voicemail app. If you've got a business, your voicemail is probably filled with messages from customers. Often the messages don't contain all the details you need. But what if you were able to get visual information from your callers? That's something you can't do with a traditional audio voicemail box, but you can with Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail. With Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail, callers receive a link to download the mobile app. There they can view important details about your business, watch videos about what you have to offer, and then leave you a video message. Actors and musicians can showcase what they do, and callers to medical practices or repair shops can report their issues visually. There are so many things that video voicemail can do for a business that makes audio voicemail a thing of the past. Discover what video voicemail can do for your business. Visit getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com.
Hey, welcome once again to Tech Refresh. As we like to say, it's our weekly fun podcast about everything digital. And you can get Tech Refresh as the Tech Refresh feed. And you can also get it every Friday with my podcast, Kim Commando Today. And before we get to Matt's incredibly funny jokes, they're funny, right, Matt?
I think that they're world changing.
Okay, exactly. Okay. Are you ready for some trivia?
So ready.
Okay.
Let's
now
do
this is about Google. Okay. In the very early days when Google.com was just getting started, they didn't have this big server facility. They didn't have any money. So what they did is they had their computers at a hosting facility, right? And they leased this space from the hosting company. And today it's a lot different. But with this data center, one day, Google.com just totally went down. And they were trying to figure out what was going on. And so when you went to Google.com and it was down, you saw just a message that said server not found. Okay. So Google engineers, they had to figure out why Google.com was down. I mean, they were still getting like millions of page views a day right then. So what was the reason why Google servers crashed and no one could get to Google.com on the entire internet? Was it A, an engineer working at the web hosting company was launching his own search site and he unplugged the server for Google.com? Was it B, Google did not pay the web hosting bills and so they shut them down? Was it C, Google engineers uploaded some new code and it just didn't work? Or was it D, the server rack at the hosting company where Google's website was located went on fire? Okay.
And what year was this again, did you say?
This is in the very beginning.
Oh, okay.
Like the
All
early 90s when Google was just getting started.
Got it.
This is tough.
This is tough.
I told you it was a tough one.
I'm going to eliminate C.
Okay.
I don't think it's C.
I don't think it's C. I'll go first. I think that they didn't pay their bills. I think that they
So
were
that would be
so
B.
early.
Okay.
Okay, B. I'm going to go with B.
I'm torn between A and D. I like... Ooh, that first story is good, but maybe it's too good. Maybe that's a Kim Commando special. I'm going to go with D. I think there was a fire.
Oh, Allie is right.
Oh.
That's right.
Look at that.
Here's what happened. A Google engineer noticed a sharp rise in temperature readings on a couple of servers. And so she called the hosting company and said, hey, I'm getting these weird messages from our server, and I think that your server room is on fire. And the tech replied, you know what, thank you, but I'm pretty sure that we would have noticed that. So you really need to look at what your records and what you're reporting. And then she said, well, I'm still showing temperatures of several hundred degrees. And it looks like that our website is completely down. And you should go back there and check. And just do me a favor, just go check. Because I need to figure out like why Google is down. And sure enough, a server rack had gone up in flames.
Man.
And the fire suppression for the hosting facility had failed, taking down Google and about 150 other companies.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and while I was doing some research on Google and pulling this trivia together, I ran across another interesting thing that when they were first getting started, the reason why Google was so simple with just the image and the search is because Larry Page and Sergey Brin, they didn't know any HTML.
Oh, what?
That's so funny. They did their best.
Yes,
They were
they
trying.
tried.
So it was like, okay, well, let's just get this. We'll just put it up. And then if it works, we'll figure out,
Exactly.
how to
We'll
make
make
it
it
really
fancy
pretty.
later.
Exactly. Okay, so Matt, I'm ready.
Ooh.
I'm ready
All
to
right.
laugh, buddy.
I got 3 jokes. I'm going to put them in order of, okay, pretty good. My favorite joke of all time.
Okay, world changing at the end.
They're all pretty short, so we'll get through them quickly. What did the number 0 say to the number 8? Nice belt.
Oh.
How family friendly.
I got the whole family. A bear walks into a bar and he says, excuse me, can I get a beer and some fries? And the bartender says, why the long pause? And he goes, oh, I was just born with them.
Okay. All right. That's cute. That is cute. Okay. So now this joke, the third one is like, it's
Short, but it's funny.
It's the
Okay.
best.
What is a pirate's
That's good.
favorite letter of the alphabet?
I.
No, everyone knows a pirate loves the sea.
That was great. You
I
got
love
us
it.
both.
I know, it's great.
You know what? Allie and I are going like, aye, matey, something like that. Oh man, that's
Hey.
you know what? I'm going to use that one because
Yeah, that's a good one.
because here, I'm learning. I'm actually getting my boater's card. So I'm
Oh.
going through classes now to get my boater's card, so
Look
I
at
can be
you.
official boater person.
You know, take a Jack Sparrow stance and have the whole wheel up like that.
Are you
I,
going to start greeting us with ahoy and
Yeah.
lots of other nautical?
Yes, ahoy there. And I'm learning all kinds of things like what a cleat is on a dock.
Oh.
And what a divot is, okay? And so the other day, you know, one of the guys at the yacht club says to me, so does your boat have bow thrusters? And I'm like, I'm like, and I looked at Barry. I'm like, this sounds like something sexual.
Excuse me?
Yes. Why would you even say that in front of me and my husband? I mean, come on. So, hey, thanks for joining us here, and we always appreciate you. And if you laugh just once at any of Matt's jokes, and even my jokes, please make sure that you give us a great 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. Sometimes you have to hit those 3 little dots, and that's the more button, and that's where you can go ahead and give us a great review, and we'll see you again here next week.